It is what it is. All right, we're live. Episode 99. My beer done got hot. It's hot outside. We done went through leaps and bounds getting Grandpa on the show again. But now you have it, Grandpa. All we gotta do is go through that, and you just click the button, and you should be in. Okay. Okay.
Do what now?
We'll practice. We'll have to practice it. So at any rate, let's beer in.
Okay, beer in. Okay. I'm gonna beer in with a summer ale. Samuel Adams Summer Ale. It's a citrus wheat ale. And wow. So it's only 3%.
That's it?
It's a summer ale.
Oh yeah, it's like a session.
Yeah, that's like after you cut the grass, you come in and you have yourself a beer.
Yeah.
Is it a bottle opener?
No, I thought it was a screw top.
Oh, I don't know. Is it?
Grandpa about to jury rig his way into it.
Right.
What you guys got today?
Today we got Hailstorm, which is one of our favorite breweries out of Chicago. We got their Vlad Russian Stout.
Okay.
It's so choppy.
And this one is 10.6 ABV.
Okay.
So I used to love Vlad. I feel like we graduated beyond it, to be honest with you. But it's
you got some real beer in there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you wouldn't like this. This is still beyond your pale. But if you like getting introduced to stouts, imperial stouts, real imperial stouts beyond Guinness, right? This is a good one. A good intro beer.
Okay.
Like it. I feel like it.
Okay. You done drank it already. Everybody ain't even beered in yet.
Oh.
I got y'all. I mean, I don't even know what we do anymore. Do we even rate beer?
Right.
I got
pre-rate. My bad.
I got a King Sue double IPA ale. This was a donation. So this one is from
Okay, I like doubles.
Decorah, Iowa. The can says this lusciously hazy double IPA gains its bold flavor of mango, orange, and pineapple from the use of delicious citra hop. All hail the king. It's it doesn't say what it's. I haven't found where it's alcohol.
I feel like we've had that before. The can looks familiar.
Is it a dinosaur on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the brewery?
Look at the top. It says, is it Goliath? Is that what this is?
It's Toppling Goliath Brewing Company. Or TG Brewing Company.
Or at least we've seen it before.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what the alcohol content of it is.
That smell like carbonation and alcohol.
King Sue double IPA.
I'll tell you right now, I'm not a big fan of IPAs, let alone double IPAs, so it's not going to be too high on me.
7.8, and yes, 100 IBU, so it's about to be bitter.
It's going to be bitter then.
Yeah.
IBUs is the International Bitterness Unit. International Bitterness. Bitter units? How do you say it, Chris?
It just tells you
How did you rate that beer?
Well, the first number that came in my mind was 3 before I even drank it.
Dang.
You got a lot of room in shoot.
I'm going to go with a 6 for the Vlad. I'm not expecting much.
I think I might have rated this before. Let me see. But anyway, it's got to be in that 6 range.
Gotta be.
What about you, Auntie?
Since I read the scoop of it, I'm at like a 6.757.
Okay, let me see.
I like the chocolate. It's lacking a little mouthfeel, and it's like it falls off at the end. But
that's why I say it's a good intro stout.
You and Freddie drinking the same thing, Crystal?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Drinking Vlad.
Yeah. Now, what did Freddie rate that?
I'll give it a 6.5.
Oh, and you give it
about a 6.75, somewhere around there.
Oh, y'all in the range there. Okay.
You know, this
That just let you know the other beers are really good beers.
This is actually better than I thought it was going. This might move up to a 5.
Look Look at that.
Like Pops infected everybody.
It's actually not bitter, really. It's bitter like on the back end, but it's not bad.
Okay.
You might like IPAs and just ain't had a good one yet.
If I had to be forced to drink IPAs, I could drink a few of these.
All right, that's a win.
King Sue.
That's a win.
It's not bad. It's even though it's hot right now in Michigan, it's like 90 degrees, and it's like this is actually pretty refreshing. So y'all looking for an IPA to try, double IPA, try this King Sue.
Yeah.
It does kind of have in a weird way, it does have kind of like I can taste the citrus.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like I want to say it has like a creamy taste to it, like on the front end, like almost like if you have really hot melted ice cream, like so like the sweetness isn't there, but the creamy texture is there.
Okay. All right, that was a description.
I was trying to string some words together.
Yeah, that was a description. I'm here for it.
What about you, Grandpa? What are you thinking of yours? Is it still where it's at, or?
Yeah, it's I don't know. Maybe it got a little warmer than it should have been. So it can't move up. I don't think.
Yeah, I tried to put a little chill on this one. Well, we had a little chill on it at first, but like Pop said, my beard done got hot. So
My beard got hot.
So.
We got to drink every time somebody say the title.
I should have had that Bud Platinum. It don't seem to. It's a winner all the way.
Platinum, huh?
Boy, I might get a 7.
All right.
Now you might get out a 7, huh?
I think he did give it a 7.
Yeah.
I gave it a 7. It deserves. If I gave that Platinum a 7, it deserves it.
Ooh. I love it.
Yeah, I know what we buying when we go home.
For Pops.
When are y'all coming back?
I was thinking about that this morning. We need to plan a trip.
Yeah.
We need to come. We'll come soon.
You know, next weekend is Father's Day.
We know.
Yeah.
Next weekend is also Juneteenth. Let's talk about that.
Juneteenth?
Yes, sir. So that's my thing. There we go. That's what I want to talk about. I'm hijacking.
All right, hijack.
But I really want us as Black folks to really start celebrating and embracing Juneteenth as much as we've celebrated the 4th for so doggone long. You know, like how many times have we run to Old Navy to buy the red, white, and blue shirts and all that crap for the
Why would we want to celebrate Juneteenth? That was 2 years of free labor.
Oh,
of course,
tell me more. Why do you say that?
I say it was 2 years of free labor. We don't want to celebrate that, do we?
Why do you say that was 2 years of free labor?
Juneteenth?
Yes, sir.
Wasn't that when they found out they were free?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2 years after the emancipation.
They were 2 years before they found out that they wasn't no slaves no more.
I was already gonna listen. Well, it was still the day. It surely wasn't July 4th. July 4th, 1776 didn't free us.
Oh no, we ain't free yet.
Ain't that the truth? If you really want to hit it. But it's just amazing to me how many. I think that last year people started becoming more aware of Juneteenth. But I would to do more celebrations for that than the 4th. Even though I'm gonna say it, the Juneteenth flag is trash.
I didn't know they had a flag. They got a Juneteenth flag.
You should keep it that way.
Okay.
It's horrible.
You don't want to see it. You don't want to see it.
Well, yeah. So next weekend is a big weekend. Juneteenth and Father's Day. That's a solid weekend.
Now fathers got to share their one weekend.
Are you serious? So this is the sad thing. So
we got to share again, Joshua. Jeez.
Nephew, your uncle wants to be part of the crew so bad. You know that man ain't living life in a rough way. That man is so spoiled, but he want to make it seem like his Father's Day is just overlooked and
Oh,
he doesn't do anything.
I'm empathizing with my fellow fathers all around the world. We always getting the
It's
second
almost
rate
Father's
treatment.
Day, and I have yet to see one Father's Day commercial.
Not one. You ain't seen
You want a
I have
one.
yet to see one.
Huh?
They do Father's Day commercials.
I
You're
have
not
yet to
looking up
see
the right
one.
stuff. It's Home Depot. They always running
I
Father's
have
Day
yet to
stuff.
see it. I've
They
seen Mother's Day commercials a whole month out, but it's almost
I
Father's
give
Day.
you
I ain't seen
Home
none.
Depot. Home
It-
Depot and Lowe's.
Those
So look, go buy some stuff for you to go do some work, not pamper dad.
you gave me pots and pans for Mother's Day.
Now you like pots and pans.
Probably on Father's Day for Black people, it's probably just some dude on the porch saying, "Now go on down to Home Depot, boy, and get yourself a shovel because we need you."
Why are you getting his headphones? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not gonna let you.
Grandpa had a flashback when I said, "Boy," he was just like, "Whoa." Like,
Why you putting the headphones on?
I think because like headphones, you can just hear
Oh,
better.
so you hear better?
Yeah.
Side.
Can you hear us, Dad?
Not yet.
How you gonna reply not yet? But you.
I guess he gave up.
So nephew,
I can hear you good without. I thought I might get a better sound with that headphone, but
yeah.
I get nothing.
So Pops, what
Yeah.
was your favorite Father's Day gift?
Favorite Father's Day gift? Hmm?
A necktie. Dads don't get nothing.
Let's see. How about Happy Father's Day?
Oh my gosh. That's the most. Y'all not gonna do that. So who? What was your favorite Father's Day gift?
I don't know. Probably them socks.
Y'all know this man ain't never got no socks for Father's Day.
Socks. I got some underwear.
You know what's coming up, right? We can cancel what we got.
Auntie, you know what I got on my first Father's Day?
What then?
A lawnmower.
Hey,
That Home Depot life.
That Home Depot.
yeah, you moving on up, man. Not more. First Father's Day.
You know the
You might get a riding one on your second.
Make sure her house look good.
So you get a riding lawnmower on your second Father's Day. Okay. Wow. So Ben, you gonna keep doing like that? Like you don't get the treatments on Father's Day?
I told you I was speaking for all fathers, not
I said
necessarily.
what is yours?
I don't remember my favorite.
What are some of the favorites?
Uncle Pooh Bear. Uncle Pooh Bear, don't fall for this trap. See that's why I'm gonna start on Father's Day. I'm gonna call Ashley Miss Taylor. When I'm outside mowing the lawn, Miss Taylor, is I doing a good job for you? Miss Taylor?
Is I doing a good job, Miss Taylor?
You forgot the personalized beer mug.
So you did figure out what your Father's Day gift was for, right? You was kind of confused, but after a while, you think, "Oh, this must be for cutting the law."
See,
Y'all are not wow.
At least Ashley has the decency not to hide her intentions. She be wearing one of those big floppy hats, drinking like lemonade while mowing the lawn outside.
Yeah, right.
Letting people know what's going on.
And my boy toy is out here.
So, Pooh, you know you can't even talk on this conversation either. You just need to stop acting like your life is just rough. You don't cut the grass. You know, they talk about Father's Day if they remember this. You get spoiled.
All they want us to do is get on the grill.
You don't need to.
That is wild. That is wild. I do get asked to cook on the barbecue. I do ask
Yeah, you gotta cut the lawn and cook the meal, brother. Jeez.
Yeah, man.
Then y'all send me a Father's Day gift then, if that's what determines
at least somebody can send you a summer ale.
we need to talk about that too, because you'll never see a dude claim Mother's Day if he's a single father. But I've seen plenty of women try to claim Father's Day for being single mothers, and that's wild to me.
It's like I get the sentiment, but at the same time, I'm like, you're not a father, like because I mean,
that's why on Mother's Day I started saying Happy Mother's Day to the single dads out there.
I mean, it's no need to add to the ignorance. I mean,
but the thing is, dudes see that as a joke and they move past it. There are girls out here who like they really expect a bunch of stuff, and like I don't know everybody's situation, but that is wild to me because I'm just like, I mean, like again, I don't know everybody's situation. I don't want to speak on something and like really someone super niche is just like, well, my husband passed away. I'm taking care of kids, that and third. Like,
but typically, when women say that, well, when that's being said, that's not because they're widows. It's typically because men dropping babies off left and right and leaving these women to fend for themselves, and then expect some type of like compassion, empathy, because they got so many kids they can't pay the child support for all of them. It's like it's such a complex conversation.
These modern women too are getting kids off dudes and just want to be single moms. I know someone personally who did that, and it's like I actually asked her about it. She just like she felt that she could do better by herself, and she just like she was looking at her clock and she just wanted to have a kid. And it's wild to me because like if you do that and you choose to take the burden on yourself and you don't say anything about it, that's one thing. But to take the burden on yourself and then to talk bad.
You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't claim you want to raise a kid by yourself, and then on the other hand, when things get a little rough, you want to down the dude. Like, no, you said point blank, this is what you want to do. Now, if you're a scumbag dad, excuse me, if you're a scumbag dad, you're a scumbag dad. Like, you need to handle responsibilities. But it's an interesting thing because I have seen. I'm not pulling nobody's names out there, but I know at least 2 girls that are in my age range who just went and got kids and just had them with somebody just to have a kid because they felt their time was ticking.
That's a terrible reason to have a child.
No, I can see that because if you just want to be a mom, then that's more is more financially feasible. And it's sort of calming to know the person you're creating a baby with, because you can go to a sperm bank and they tell you that you're getting somebody, with this certain genetic code, and you get somebody totally different. You don't know what it is. So, I mean, I would rather have
it's a menu situation.
It is, you get to say, okay, read this. That's what I like. These are the qualities I'm looking for. Just even the personality types and all that stuff. But you don't know what people will go up in there and tell lies. So if I had to choose between doing that or doing it with somebody I know, I would rather do it with somebody I know too. But if he off the hook, he off the hook. Yes, sir, Pops.
And I was going to say, with things changing now and women getting more educated and sophisticated, that they can have a child. You don't have to have that man, as a support system, because they can support themselves now. I see them, they're driving the big car with the good job. And on top of that, we've got situations where they're trying to get child care, where a person doesn't have to worry about the child. They can drop them off at, a place while they're working, So things seem to be working out pretty good for the women. They don't necessarily have to be dependent.
But raising a child, you can't just be financially stable and then raise a child. They're 2 parents for a reason. Like, they pour into the child differently. They pick up different things. Like,
I mean, but
I've learned this from just being a new parent. Some days, I'm not going to be on 100%. And then Ashley comes in and she does the correct parenting method. And then some days she's tired and she just can't handle it. And then I come in and I do the, I'm going to say my correct parenting method. And like if you're by yourself and you have to constantly be on 100%, that'll break you down. Like I can't imagine if I had to raise my child by myself.
It's
not an ideal situation.
But that's the thing, y'all say that, but let's not act like that's not routinely done. I mean, you say, they're 2 parents for a reason, but it's so common for where one parent has to be the only parent in the household for
But
whatever.
that's dealing with a situation, not just going into it saying I just want to be a single parent. Like it's just not an
Well,
ideal situation.
Right.
It can be popular without being the ideal situation, right?
I think these are changing times. I think maybe it's not so much the single parent can still be able to work a full-time job, a kid in school and everything, and have plenty of time for them after, if that's
Yeah.
what you choose, what I'm trying to say is that
They getting it done.
the whole I mean, it can be done. The whole situation is changing now. Not that it can be done, but it will be done.
I mean, single parents ain't got no choice. That's what they know.
Approach to raising a child.
Well,
A single parent don't got a choice, right? You got to think that ideally you would like to have some help, right? Whether that's help in the house with you or it's two households that's balancing the child. Like you would rather have some help. That's just, I mean, they're gonna deal with it. Black women have been dealing with shit forever and making it happen and thriving in those environments. That still doesn't make it an ideal situation.
Well, no, I don't know about looking at an ideal situation, but it makes it all possible. Maybe I'll say like that.
I mean, Grandpa, what you're talking about is different from what Pooh Bear's talking about. We're talking about Pooh Bear's talking about thriving. You're talking about surviving. Now, if we look at the economy in America today, we know for a fact that previously, before I don't know how the companies are, and not all companies are doing this yet, but minimum wage as it was, there was no place in America where you can get a single apartment by yourself anymore, right? So, say you're a single mother and you have minimum wage, say you get making $15 an hour where they propose it to be at, you have just enough money to survive yourself, right? Now, at best, right? So now you add another human to the equation, and what you said, childcare isn't free. They have not passed universal childcare, so now you got to pay childcare. Now, on the low end, you might be able to find a daycare for $250 a week. So now
I'm talking about things to come, though. Now, I'm not talking about the way things are. I'm seeing something in the future, things to come, where $15.
We're not talking about things to come.
You can raise a child on. You may not have the best of it, but you can raise a child on $15 an hour if you're, conscious.
If you grow your own food, if you have access to land and you can supplement that food you're missing out on. But Grandpa, in this economy we're living in, unless you're making, so like, what is it? So I believe, what is it? The higher end, I want to say this properly. You're in the top 5% of people on Earth if you make like $57,000 a year. 57.
Yeah, right.
But like in America, that's nothing. So like to be in
that's nothing in California, but that's something in West Virginia.
Grandpa, you making all these things up. I'm talking about like everyone doesn't live in West Virginia. So for people who live in Detroit, right? What's the average? Like if someone knows, what's the average rent out here? I don't know right now, but
I'd say the average rent on a house probably about $900,
Okay, so $1,000, right? So what is? Can we do the math on what $15 an hour is a month? Like after what if you take 25% out for taxes or something like that? What's $15 a month? Somebody doing that? Because I gotta do it on my phone.
Doing it.
Okay. So once we figure that out, we can subtract $1,000 off top for just rent.
So it's $2,400 a month for money. $15 times 160 hours.
And then minus then you got to take off like the percentage of tax.
Oh yeah, 25%.
Well,
the taxes. Yeah. But you get that back.
You're assuming that.
$1,800 left.
No, you get it back.
So you don't spend $1,000. You don't spend more than half your money on your rent. So now you got to cover childcare, which is $250 a month. You already have failed.
No. I was speaking about future things. Like the childcare. That was my key thing when I mentioned from the start about the childcare. They're gonna institute that into the system where you don't have to be worried about that childcare.
Wait. You think the government gonna pick up childcare?
Yeah.
Grandpa, we're talking about tangible things that exist right now. Right now,
Oh,
there
that's
is no
on that's
universal-
on a list of things that the government
No,
trying to do
Grandpa.
now. Ain't they trying to institute some?
They've been trying to set you free for 200 years. Like, what we waiting on
Grandpa,
them for? Like,
Grandpa, this is
this
serious.
sounds like a
Like
setup.
in the
I'm
actual,
thinking about
in the
things to
actual
come.
timeline we're in right now, the universe
Shortly.
we're in right now, you cannot. There is no universal child care. There is none. So in the world we live in right now, if you want to have a assumedly reputable place to drop your kid off before they can go to public school education, it's like $250 a week, right? So if it costs you $1,000 for rent and you only have $800 left, if you can strike a nice sweetheart deal, let's say you do, you spend all your money on rent and childcare. You no longer have money for food, and because you're making minimum wage, depending on how your area is set up, you might not even qualify for food stamps. So now what do you do?
It has been done.
What
So this is the thing. So this is the thing.
I didn't say things was like this now, but I'm thinking
We're having a right
in
now.
a short period of time, the child care will not be no problem.
Well, what's a short period of time? Hey, I'm just
We gotta
curious.
live on the established timeline.
In the next couple of years.
Grandpa, we're talking about.
And this must be a democratic platform.
Grandpa, in the next couple of years, like stuff happens quick. Things can go downhill. People who don't have resources can't wait a couple of years. So what we're talking about is the effects of things happening right now.
Well, I'm talking about things to come.
No, Grandpa, we're not. No, like I understand you're making a joke, but it's not funny. Like people are really living this. You know what I mean? Like it's a real situation. Childhood care and everything, like, it's expensive. And I think, to what I'm assuming Auntie and Uncle who we're alluding to is, for you to make a choice of having a child, and at the very beginning, not denying, but saying I don't want your help and I just want to have a kid, it's depending on your financial situation, it's pretty foolish. Like
I didn't say that.
That's what I said. I'm assuming because I heard Uncle Poober kind of say that. Like
So I don't feel that way.
Well, somebody correct your nephew.
My thing is this, like financially, sure. I just look at parenting as something totally different. We started out as, I feel like an adult woman, however, with a career, who's decided to go into parenthood as a single parent is no more foolish than the 17, 18, 22, and 23-year-old kids who have a baby together. You're not financially ready to take care of it. It's no stupider. So to sit there and say that an adult woman who is set and said, this is what I want for my life. I've always wanted to be able to, carry on my family legacy. I want to nurture. I want to, I have love to give. If for someone to make that decision, plan it out, and already say, this is what I'm going to do, that's no crazier than the chick who just out there letting the fool come hit, knowing that he got 5 other kids out there and he's not going to be there anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that it's that big of a deal. I don't think that it's something to like point the finger, like, why would you willingly do that? People do it frequently. People do it unwillingly. The bottom line is that it happens, and whether it's financial or situational or not, we'd have a friend who's the father of her child is nowhere around. She has a son. So what did she do? She decided to tap the men that she knew in her circle, who she felt were good influences, say, hey, his dad ain't here. I know a lot of women do that. The kids' fathers aren't there. They find other men in the community that they could have them guide and have love still poured into them. It's not about trying to do it all on your own, like I'm mommy and daddy, I'm mommy and daddy. And what a lot of people don't realize is that sometimes these kids give their mothers the title of father on Father's Day. Because if those kids know that their father has not been around, they are telling their mom, I appreciate you for everything that you do. You just stepped in and you've been mother and father. You taught me how to tie a tie. You taught me you took me back and forth to sporting shows, sporting games. You took me to get my hair cut. Things that fathers do, my mama did. So that's why sometimes those moms get credit for Father's Day, even though I don't think they should. You got a day. Mama's Day, mamas are mamas and daddies are daddies. But people sometimes get on these mamas for this, but it's their kids who are telling them, I appreciate you, especially the mothers, single mothers of sons. The sons who are telling them, my mama did everything that my daddy never came around and did. So for that, mama, I'm gonna celebrate you to another day out the year. I still, like I said, I'm not a fan of the mama claiming daddy Father's Day. I'm not. I said let's celebrate our father. I'm a huge fan of Father's Day, but I just think that sometimes it's just so many fingers pointed at mamas and what they doing right and wrong, decisions being made, blah 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 blah. We didn't have no business having a kid at 22 and 23, but we did.
I ain't pointing no fingers at nobody. I just said it's not an ideal situation. You're talking again like survival and thriving. They rise into the occasion like they always have and they always do, and they make do with less. Period. So there's no knock because people like say people do dumb shit all the time. Like people drink and drive, right? Like knowingly do it, right? So like it's bad decisions made all around. So. But my point was, it's not a thriving situation. It's not like the ideal situation because it's not. Having a baby at 16 is not an ideal situation, even if the daddy is there and they got loving families. It's just not an ideal situation. Having a baby at 45 or 43 or whatever, 35 and solo, I just don't think it's an ideal situation.
What if she's financially secure and she has help in the home?
Even if she can't, it's still her decision. Right, and it really don't matter what I think, right? But I just still say it's not an ideal situation.
No, the question
she might be. Again, she might be totally capable of it, but if it's not two parents, I just don't see it as an ideal situation. Like it's not, but it's not my place to judge her. I'm gonna still root for her to do well, right? Like that's your decision, right? She's an adult. What the hell is the matter when I care, right? But again, I just point to it's not an ideal situation. But Black women have always risen to the occasion. Even if they was making $7.50 an hour alone by themselves in the city of Detroit, they still been making it happen. So
what's the ideal situation?
True.
Grandpa,
are they married?
Hold on. Grandpa, what's the ideal situation?
I don't think so.
Grandpa, what's the
I don't
ideal
even know
situation?
if this ideal situation really exists because I see some women taking on some loads and they're very successful in doing what they're doing. You know, I've seen them where whatever happened to them in past, life or something, they just bypass and keep on trucking. They're getting the education. In fact, I even see, the change I see in the LBG community where women have taken on families. The whole situation ain't like it used to be. And I applaud them. Credit is given what credit is due. Because the system, our whole system down there broke, but they seem to be making a repair for it. Now, Freddie may not agree with some of the thinking.
I know.
but it's happening. I see the change, and I see women doing very well, single parent.
Nobody disagrees with that. I don't, especially Black women. Nobody disagrees with that.
No, I'm not saying we disagree. I'm just saying I see them doing very well. In fact, they be doing sometimes, better than somebody with a dead load as a husband.
Grandpa, define very well.
Huh?
Define very well.
Doing very well.
Yeah. What does very well mean? What is that metric?
That's you surviving. You're surviving. That's
not very well. That's bottom run.
I didn't say that was great. That is very well to survive in this world, man. You look around the world and you see people ain't doing very well because they ain't hardly surviving.
Grandpa, you know what? I've seen homeless people be married and hold up together. And by your definition, they're surviving and doing very well. I've seen people in other countries who are doing poorly, who don't have clean drinking water, who are together, who by your definition are doing very well. Surviving is not doing very well. If you aren't adding something to the next generation, I don't think it's fair to say you're doing very well.
Fine, surviving is doing very well. When you look at the population, you got 1.3 billion people over in India and they married and everything, and they ain't doing as good as somebody over here who ain't got but one child.
That's not but in India is different.
So very well, very well means you're surviving, you're eating every day, and everybody ain't eating every day.
Well, Grandpa, that's so let me add that to that because you brought up India. So India is still, they still go by, and not as much as they did in the past, but they still go by the caste system.
They got a caste system, right.
They still go by the caste system, which is really is class and wealth based. Like wealthy people oftentimes marry wealthy people.
But those in the caste system, I didn't put them in that category doing very well. You lumped them in there.
No, you're talking about just surviving. I mean, just surviving that's subsistence. You know, I mean, that's the requisite for just you breathing in and out air and being able to have water. Is that surviving? But is that a great status of life? Like Auntie brings up Uncle Pooh Bear on Father's Day. She's like, you don't have a bad life. You have more line. You have a great life. Like Uncle Pooh Bear, by my definition, is doing pretty well. Like he has a comfortable.
He's doing better than very well. The very well people. I'm talking about the people who are making it. Now the people out there you talking about out there in the street, they ain't doing very well. They catching hell.
You said people just make
it. But that's their choice, though. You find the people out there in a tent on the sidewalk. Whether it's mental, whether it's a mental problem or not, but that's their problem. But I didn't conclude them doing very well. I'm talking about the average person is probably doing very well.
The average person is doing very well?
I didn't say good. Wait, let's not get good.
You said very well.
Very well is better than
very
good.
Well.
Very well is better than good.
Man, there's a gap between good and very well.
Where's average?
I'm doing very. I ain't doing good, but I'm doing very well.
Very well is a very strong word.
Where does average fit in? Are you saying most people are doing average? Like, what are you saying? Like, is average then very well then good? Like, what's the progression?
So if very well is surviving, bad must be you in the camp.
Very well. Here, Now I might be in the middle of this doing very well. Then somebody might be on the bad end of doing very well. Somebody on the good end, but there's a whole range there that you can go.
So you're just talking about from doing bad to doing okay to doing very well. Like that's everything. You can be on.
Oh, you can put okay and doing very well in the same bag.
So okay. No,
you're doing okay, and that's very well. Now you say good. You say good, very well.
He has a very loose definition going here.
Yeah.
So basically, that doesn't mean that they're actually doing great. They're not doing good. They are just living and eating enough to go to the next month. They're not necessarily financially stable. They can be buried in debt. They can be behind on their bills, but they're here and they're surviving. That's not all of that is in the range, all the way up to they got nannies and mothers. That sounds like very well. I want to be on the good end of very well.
I want to be good.
I'm not sure what end of very well it is, but there is a wide range on the very well thing, I mean,
all right, Grandpa, let me ask you a question. This might actually answer a few questions. Grandpa, what is Hoghead's cheese?
What is Hoghead cheese?
Yes,
it's cheese made from a hog's head.
No. What? How? In terms of how good it tastes, is it very well or is it good?
It depends on who's eating it. To me, it's good.
Yeah, you eat it.
So, somebody else would need a Hoghead cheese,
So Hoghead cheese is good,
but if Hoghead cheese is a tradition,
very well. So
Hoghead cheese has a tradition in my family because every New Year's Eve, my father made Hoghead cheese. And I took the Hoghead and grind it up and boil it and all that stuff and pickle it, but it was good,
What?
I wouldn't eat no Hoghead cheese like somebody wouldn't eat a butterfly or a mothball. Not a moth, but
Damn, people eat butterflies.
Right.
Caterpillar, ants.
So, wait, Grandpa, Why haven't you continued that tradition? I'm sure
Nah.
Uncle Pooh Bear would love to have some
Because
fresh made.
I probably
hog
would have
every
probably
year.
been paying attention to what he was doing, you know.
I think we should
I
Google.
just ate the whole head cheese after he
I
finished.
think we should
Finished
Google how to
product.
make hog head cheese, and I think Uncle Pooh Bear should be the very first to try it that you
I
made.
will pass. I don't think it's gonna make it. I
So
don't
why
think
not continue?
This is per tradition. This is a Taylor family trade secret.
we also
Back
have passed down confidence.
Back in the 30s, people used to can every year. Tomatoes, string beans, put them in jars, make jelly out of the grape. You show me somebody now who can make some jelly from the grapes, or know how to can some tomatoes or some string beans, or some sauerkraut. Nobody know that, you know. But they were there when they was eating it, because when the people making it, they said, "Oh, this is good." They didn't want to put that extra effort to make it, you know. Hey, I learned how to make it.
You know what, Grandpa?
But a few people did. A few people brought on family tradition, and they learned how to do what their parents, you know, brought them to do. Sure, I mean,
Speaking of that, Grandpa, what tradition have you passed down to us? What family tradition are we going to pass down?
Bell
that's what I'm
out.
saying. I'm one of those people, man, was just eating it. It's good, but I didn't learn how to make it.
But there's got to be something you know that there's got to be something you know that you can pass
every
down
year.
to us.
He'd make a crock full of wine. I didn't never find out how they make it, but me and my brother used to go down there and get us a cup. That great wine and drink it, you know. Hey,
Well,
not consider how it's made. Hey, it's pretty good, you know.
There's got to be something you know how to pass down to us. Pass
But
it
you
down.
know what, Joshua? That's the thing. You, as a parent, you don't know what your kids are going to grab. It's up to you to decide what you're taking from your granddad that you want to pass down to Cece.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think my mom ever realized that I was going to make sweet potato bread every Thanksgiving with my family, or that I was going to fry shrimp every Christmas Eve.
What time out? Where's this? Now, we didn't have Thanksgiving a few times. I've never seen the sweet potato bread.
I've made sweet potato bread. I've had it in Detroit.
Where oh, okay. I see that. I see what you did there. Okay.
I have. Yeah, you know what? Because y'all have been gone.
Okay.
Y'all been gone. But I got that for my mom. I do sweet potato bread on Thanksgiving, and on Christmas Eve, that's where I make the shrimp and all that stuff on Christmas Eve, because my mom used to do that. She never said, "Hey, this is what you should do with your family." It was just something that I remember, and it stuck with me because at one point we had 10 people living in our house. We didn't have a lot of money at all. And so to be able to get shrimp.
So it sounds like y'all are doing very well, though.
Right. We're doing very well.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking very well.
So for us to be able to have shrimp, and then that enough for everybody to have some, like they would do stuff like they would get their little steaks, but then we would still have chicken and burgers. So for everybody to have shrimp, that was a big thing. And so I just always remembered that on Christmas Eve, and I would sit there and, you know, peel the shrimp and devein the shrimp. It was like a whole process. So that's why I do that for y'all, for the family. That's, you know, and I know that my boys already have decided that sweet potato bread is just a thing. But are they going to do the Christmas Eve shrimp? Not it. Maybe. I don't know. They may do something else. They may say, "Hey, my parents, they celebrate their whole birthday, you know, a week for their whole birthday." You know, who knows what they're going to do.
I'm going to tell you right now, Auntie, you might have to do what Grandma did with Ashley. So did she ever tell you the story about when Ashley first met Grandma Taylor, what happened?
I don't know which one.
She told her that, she's like, she said, Grandma asked, "So are you coming back for Thanksgiving?" She's like, "Oh, I can't." She's like, good. You can make Thanksgiving for all of us. And then she walked away. And that's how Ashley came to make Thanksgiving.
I didn't hear that before. What you say?
So the day of Thanksgiving comes, right? And we've been shopping and getting stuff all day. So Grandma and Grandpa show up to the house, right? Mm-hmm. Remember I had that townhouse, Grandpa?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you and Grandma show up, and you know, Grandpa sits down and starts watching TV. Grandma goes in the kitchen and literally just stands behind Ashley and looks at everything she does the whole time. and like the moment Grandma's satisfied, she takes a I think a necklace or a wrist, something like it was some jewelry out of her pocket, and she's like, This is good. And she gives it to Ashley. I swear to you, this is what happened. And then she goes to the grandpa. Like she just stares. She doesn't say a word. Apparently, she just stares behind us and stares and watches everything she does while she's cooking this food.
I didn't know that. You see, I'm always interested in the finished product. When the food is cooked, I'm ready to eat. You know.
He's staying focused, man. I got my eye on the prize.
You know what? You know what? I was about to say that's not the truth, but it is, because whenever I'm there and I'm making the shrimp and stuff on Christmas Eve, I always have to hide them from these two because they need to come in and test it to see how the shrimp tastes and how the fish tastes and all that. So they don't wait till it's done. They just get, as long as one piece is done, that's enough.
Can't afford to let anybody get sick.
It was
Jamila made some.
I watched this happen. I wasn't gonna say on the ground.
Jamila made some. I don't know. I'm not sure whether it was spaghetti or she had another name for it, but it was a lot of shrimp in there, you know. And I didn't say how was it made. All I'm saying is filling my mouth up. Boy, this show is good. I could have been watching. Maybe I could make me some, you know. But like I say, I'm always on that finished product. Well, this is good.
That's hilarious. Yeah, so Joshua, with that being said, now that you know it's up to you to decide, like, what are some things that you think you want to pass on to my CC?
Oh, you know, claimed my CC.
That's not his thing. He misses me. He sent me a text this morning.
He did?
He did.
I believe that. I believe he knows how to use phones, so that's believable. You know, this one thing, you know, it's frivolous. It's not like actually a real thing that you can use. But you know, I did learn Kendo, and I got my swords ready. So I'm gonna teach him how to use it and everything. And you know,
I'm talking about something you got from your parents, your grandparents, or something like that, like a family something passed down.
They didn't really pass nothing down.
I mean, you know, I'll probably do what Dad did. You know, stand over him while he sleeps to see if he can feel my presence and attack him to get him ready for the.
Well, you know, so Pooh, you said that's nothing, but you know, I think what you're going to do, what the kids are going to get from you, that you're not giving yourself credit for, that you got from your parents, was being at every single thing. Every single thing. And for me, I didn't grow up with that. You know, my parents worked. And so I would call them on the payphone when my events were over. Like, they weren't there. And I knew that it was, we were raised.
Hold on, Auntie, you said something. I don't know if our younger
viewers payphone
understand. You said pay phone. What is a pay phone for the people who don't?
Yeah, we used to have to try to find a payphone. But I remember when Jael was in something at school, a math competition. I can't remember what Jael was in. And Pooh said, "Isn't today Jael's thing?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "We got to get ready." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "We going." And I was like, "We going?" He's like, "We go to everything. My parents didn't miss nothing. We ain't missing nothing." And I was like, "All right, pony up." So that's been something that I feel like they've gotten. Because even Jael, I think Jael finally realized that, what was that day, his senior year when he was bowling? And he went through a phase where, you know, he was, you know, too cool to talk to us in public and all of that. But one time we got to a bowling match.
No, I know Jael. I don't think that stopped.
No, and that's the thing. What was surprising is that he walked over to us and hugged us. And, you know, we're the bowling match, and we're just like, okay. But afterwards, he came and told us, he said, I was standing over there, and he said, I just realized that y'all don't miss anything, because his friends were like, there go your parents. They recognized us because we had been at everything. So I really think that that's something that they're going to pass on and carry on as they become parents. At least I hope so. And sweet potato bread.
Sweet potato bread.
Nephew, I'm gonna make sure you get some sweet potato bread. It is exactly. I could have sworn you had some. Hey, everybody, you must have been out of town because everybody's had it.
That's right. You used to make you have shrimp every what? Thanksgiving. When you
Christmas
come out?
Eve.
When was it?
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Yes, sir.
You got to get out of here, man. One more time.
Yeah, we gonna get back in the rotation. I think it's about time to come back. You know, yeah. I think it's about time.
Hey, let me ask this question. What do y'all think of my chances ever running again? next to none. I went to the art museum and I had a wheelchair and all that. But up here, it's almost like I could get up and go,
95%.
Huh?
95%.
I say choose one event and that's it. That's the thing. You want to run the whole Olympics. You want to do all the events. Get you one event.
Well, right now, my one event is I was looking at the record there. My man Tanaka, who ran that 15 seconds, 15.08 seconds, 100 meters at 89.
Mm-hmm.
He was 90, 91, I think last year it was, he ran a 16.86. That don't sound like much, but when people in their 70s and they running 17, 18, it means something.
Yeah.
Run it.
And I'd like to be able to do that. It was 15.08. Now I kicked it up to 16.8.
You gotta adjust with your age group.
I ain't gave up, though. I'm not giving up.
And you ain't 88 no more. You gotta adjust.
I done put enough money, man, into this whole body to buy a car.
Yeah, I think you choose one event, and I think you got that. I think you got that, Pops. You can do that.
Yeah, I done cut my events down. If I can get one, I'll be happy.
Yeah, get you one. I can't wait. We'll be there. Whatever you choose, we are there.
Yeah, y'all. I mean, I was very appreciative of y'all. I got this picture when Jael and RD was what, 6 or 7 years or 5 or 7.
They were little.
Huh?
They were tiny.
RD might have been. It was in 2000, 2005, 2006. Might have been 2000. How old would RD been in 2006?
3. I think that was 2006, 2007 when you went Kalamazoo.
Yeah, 2007.
Yeah.
He was 3.
Well, 2007, he was just 24.
He was still okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I got that picture, y'all. I'm kneeling with the kids and y'all standing up there because Sean was there and you was there. And, I think
Hank was there too. So, nephew, So this the funny thing. So we're all at the Senior Olympics, and your dad is there in the polo shirt, some cargo shorts. The shirt is tucked in his shorts, and some sandals. And we're looking like, like that's odd. We're watching. So, but this the thing. So because we like he got to have his gun somewhere. This 2006, 2007, he was strapped. But we watching because usually he would have it on his hip. But I'm like, well, maybe he decided it's the Senior Olympics. He not gonna have it out here.
What was it now?
This was at the Kalamazoo Senior Olympics. This is
what you say I didn't have?
No, not you. This is John.
Oh.
So we can't see it. So he's been a great uncle. He's giving the boys Starburst. He's just doping them up with all the candy they can get. So when the races are over,
he always pushing that candy.
Right. So the races are over. The boys are running up and down the track. They're just having a good time. So they come over like, I want some more candy. I'm like, go ask your uncle. So they run over. Kaya runs over. Can I have some more candy? So Sean says, sure. Reaches in his right pocket, grabs the candy. Jair taps to the other shoulder, said, what's over there? Oh, that's my gun. And kept on getting the rubber. You had a gun from there, like.
That's dead.
John was never without his arm.
Never.
Because like now, you may not see no gun, but you look down there in his socks and his shoes.
I'm like,
somebody make a mistake when they think he unarmed because he ain't never going unarmed.
I'm like, we at the Senior Olympics, bro. Why are you strapped at the Senior Olympics? He said,
always be ready.
He said, I don't trust nobody.
He told me that at Thanksgiving dinner. I'm sitting next to him at Hank's house. And I look down and I see, and I think this is my first, was it my first time meeting him? Babe?
It was early.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there next to him and I'm looking at his gun. And I say, Sean, why you got your gun? It's just family. He looked me dead in my eyes and said, trust no one, Kristen. I'm like, all right, you want some mashed potatoes? You want some peas? Like, get this man everything he want. I'm not waiting.
That's that, man.
You know, Sean's
He ain't never changed, boy.
Sean's
No.
character. When if you ever fly with him, he don't fly by the seat of his pants. Say, oh yeah, the plane all right, you know, and get in there and fly. He gonna check the flaps and everything. Look all up on it. He go through the whole routine that it takes, you know. So you know that you're over there secure, knowing that he knows the thing is all right, you know. Me, trust me. I said, yeah, they came to all last month sometime.
Grandpa, that's for y'all's benefit. Because the plane go down, he got a parachute right in his seat. He's about to jump out.
That's right. Yeah, that plane trying to fly, you know, it's got a parachute, right? Engine stop, you just pull the parachute.
He got it right with him. He's just like, hey man, that's why I checked the plane.
Yeah. You know, when John was
I'm gonna make it.
Y'all.
When John was with Hostage Rescue, and they would check the weather, they had to go if they had to go from here to Arizona or wherever. He would check the weather way in advance, right? And if things look pretty good where he at, but don't look good down the road, he ain't going, you know. And one of the guys said, well, if Sean ain't going, I ain't going.
Seriously.
It may look good 100 miles out, but 200 miles out, you might be losing your life, you know. If you ain't going, I ain't going either. Wait till the weather clear up or something.
Look here. I trust Sean. Crazy as it can be. I trust him.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta log. We gotta finish. So this is our final thoughts today. So let's start with Auntie. What's your final thought today, Auntie? We had a pretty good conversation.
Yeah, that's it. Final thoughts. I don't know. I feel like messing with y'all, but I'm just gonna say that shout out to all the fathers out there. I love
fathers or barbers.
The fathers, and to see 3 generations here of that, I think it's pretty dope. So, cheers to y'all! Happy early Father's Day to the Taylors.
All right. I would drink with you, but I drank my beer.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Joshua, that's what you've gotten from your grandfather. How to take you got that from your granddad.
That's one thing I actually wish I didn't take from him.
You should have seen them together in Vegas, boy. They was dragging me along, boy.
Yeah.
It was some wild stuff. I'm over here watching Grandpa drink. I'm just trying to stay the course, you know.
You know what though? When Freddie bought that steak, and I couldn't remember no steak, but he had to prove. He showed. I see myself eating the steak. Oh yeah, I must have had it.
After we
I'm just blanked out, you know. But then after that, then they brought in that birthday thing, you know, with that wine. I said, but I couldn't remember that steak. That saved my life until you showed me a picture of it.
that last night was a move with Grandpa. Number one, we got him to sit down and play cards, right? And they let us take a picture.
I think I saw the picture.
Uncle Pooper, you still got that picture? Because I don't have it. Yeah, I gotta see that. They let us take a picture at the casino, which they don't let people do.
No.
Then Grandpa's winning. Grandpa's like winning like every hand. He's making bad decisions. But
you got a picture of me?
Yes. Grandpa's hitting on 16s.
They said, don't hit. I hit.
I'm like, Grandpa, this is a bad idea. Don't do this. He said he hit 21. I was like, all right.
Don't hit no 16s. Hit me.
He's like, he looked at me like when he drove in the water. He's like, I'm doing it. he just did it. And like, what's wild, the dealer was like, you don't want to do this. He's like, I'm doing it. Next thing you know, Grandpa's like, oh, I'm getting kind of hungry. And then the nice exclusive steakhouse in the hotel is like, you know, you're supposed to have advanced like reservations. So I walk over there and I'm just like, hey y'all, I'm not gonna hold you up. I know you guys probably got it, blah blah blah, but my grandpa's right here. He's already walking towards his direction. Like I would hate for him to have to walk away. and they're like, we'll figure something out. So by like, it took man for grandma to get there anyway. But like they gave us a table in the center part of the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Like grandpa had his 2 champagne bottles, which honestly I never saw again. Like after that night, so I don't know if he just knocked them out. But we saw that. We had this crazy dinner. I know what happened. There was these ladies who were celebrating. So
y'all gave a bottle away.
Oh yeah.
We gave one to them. That's what happened. I was just like, I remember because I'm like, there's no way we drank these just sitting there.
No, we drank one of them.
Yeah, we drank one of them. We gave one away. And like, did we go get mussels before or after that?
Before.
Okay, because there was like we told you about the vodka mussel shots, right? Like the it was
great. Oysters.
Oh, you talking about the oysters?
Oyster, yeah. We had the
oyster shots and everything. It was crazy.
Yeah,
we had the oysters. Yeah, we ate the oysters, then we went gambling, then we went to the other spot. But that was after we left the oyster spot. Remember, we was at the pizza joint drinking beer there.
Oh yeah, and that was crazy too. They just gave us a spot to chill out for 2.5 hours. It was a great time. Grandpa's the master.
We was at a pizza joint.
But yeah,
that's where y'all did the beer show, Pops.
Huh?
That's where y'all did the beer show. And then you climbed up in the truck and took the pictures.
But that's fine.
We had
the beer show while y'all were in Vegas and y'all were sitting in the back.
I do remember we were gonna go out on. Did we go out on a porch or something?
Nah,
we didn't.
You remember eating pizza? You remember eating pizza and drinking beer?
In the back of the. Oh, okay. In the back of the. That back. He put us in the back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I remember. Yeah. Okay.
I was trying to see if I had a picture.
You know what? But I actually got to run to a meeting, y'all. But man, I gotta tell you this. I'm gonna log. I don't know if y'all can end this when I leave.
Well, go ahead,
nephew. Go ahead, nephew. You can have your business.
All right.
I love you guys. I'll see you guys.
Love you too.
All right.
Pops. I give him a call back.
All right, we still live, so I guess we all got to shut out because that means it's still streaming through YouTube. Let's all close it out.
All right, you got to go ahead and close it out, Dad.
Got to close it out.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Sir.
I'll call you back.